So today I want to ask you a question, and it's probably going to be a hard one. And the question is, are you brave enough? Are you brave enough to finally trust yourself to build your true personal style? Now, over the years, especially if you're a older millennial or a young Gen Xer, we were taught certain rules. And those rules were dress for the body that you have, wear certain colors, you can only wear certain things during certain times of the year. You could only dress in, say, three colors: gray, black, brown for work. And we've always followed those rules. These aren't trends, but these are rules. And somehow along the way, all of us got caught up in these rules. And these rules did one thing and did one thing very well, so well that I don't think we've ever realized it, thought about it, or even considered it. Because when people start asking or talking about personal style, everybody goes to the same thing. Well, you have to build a capsule wardrobe, or you have to have a checklist of these particular wardrobe essentials, and blah, 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 blah. But the one thing that they never really ask you is, what is it that you like? And we've become so conditioned not to think about, well, what is my personal style? Or if you've thought about it, because I know you've had these following thoughts. I wish I could pull that off. This is nice. And I'm talking about things that catch your eye. And they catch your eye, but you're too afraid or you don't trust yourself to actually buy it. Try to figure out what goes with this. How can I wear this? Or how can I incorporate this into what I wear so I can begin to bring my own personality or even my own flair to how I dress? And until we really ask ourselves, what is it that we like? Because we don't have a clothing problem. We have more of a mindset problem and a letting go problem of what we've been taught. And if you look at it along the years, even today, when people have the different aesthetics, all those are is just that they're aesthetics that everybody kind of falls into place. I like to think of it as the housing developments that we see. And these houses may have one, two, probably no more than three floor plans that you can choose from. That is what I mean by conformity. Everything has become cookie cutter, even our style. And the only way to really break free of that when you're looking to build and develop your personal style, you have to be able to think about, what is it that I want? If I could dress any way in the world, what would that look like? So I'm going to ask you again, are you brave? Are you brave enough to trust yourself to build a personal style that reflects who you are? And the very first step in doing that is just letting go. So you're probably asking and thinking to yourself, what am I letting go of? Let me guess. All I have to do is a little mini closet edit, and I'll let go of a few pieces here and there, and then I'm done. Well, the gotta do this before you even do or attempt a closet audit. But hold off, that is actually going to come. But first, you have to do an emotional audit. You have to figure out and ask yourself, where am I currently in my life and my lifestyle? What makes me feel good? What draws my attention when I'm looking for clothes? And you have to sit and think with yourself. And you can literally be as outlandish and as outrageous as you want to be when you're doing this. Because if you don't, you will always stay stuck in the rules lane of wearing clothes. I like to look at people and individuals when they come around and they're confident and they're happy. And when you look at how they look and how they dress, sometimes it doesn't make sense to you. It's sort of like wearing gray pants and, I don't know, like a maroon top or something. And then they may have a dash of yellow somewhere in the mix, and they're confident in it. That's because they took the time to really think about what it is that they like, and they began to incorporate what they like in small increments and small pieces. Or a lot of us go out and say, I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy a whole new wardrobe. What if I told you you didn't have to do that? You have to start small. This is going to be a marathon, not a sprint. You also, and this is probably the biggest one of all, you have to let go of the rules that we were taught. You know, the you have to wear white after Labor Day. Now I kind of still do that, but remember, there's different type of whites you can wear. Or you can't wear polka dots and pinstripes. Or you can't wear my favorite, you can't wear sweatpants and a blazer and a nice loafer or a tie-up shoe, not a tennis shoe, right? So it's being able to incorporate and think outside of the box, not even necessarily putting words together. I think we've all fallen into the trap of, well, pick your 2 or 3 words. And I'm guilty of that when you go back and look in past videos that I've created, right? But sometimes it's more so what makes you feel good and what makes you feel confident about yourself. It's about making sure that you no longer want to look safe. And that's what we're trying to let go of, is looking safe. When we're looking safe, that means getting a capsule wardrobe that's safe and easy. So we tend to take the easy routes out when it comes to building our style, but not tapping into what we actually really want, because society is telling us, no, we all have to look the same. We can't do this when we can do this. You're not a celebrity or you're not an influencer. So guess what? You can't dress any type of way, right? But we're at a point in not only our lives, but even just in now, in today's times anyway, things are shifting. And one of the things that we always forget about is what we wear. And if we do worry about what we wear, it always goes back to being safe and hiding ourselves. To when in reality, maybe we need to step out of our comfort zones and create something new for us to go into this next chapter, especially if you're 45 and older, 50 and older. We are all at a place where we are literally reinventing our lives. Our lives are changing for the good. I've been seeing on social media, somebody asked a question on Threads a little bit. I think I read it earlier today when she said, if you've ever considered blowing up your life, do it. And all of us at one point or time have done that. But the great thing is, you don't have to blow it up all entirely. Maybe you just have to blow up your wardrobe and your style to help shake things up just a little bit, so that you can now enjoy what it is that you want, the lifestyle that you're currently building. That could be if you're retiring, if you're starting a business, if you've gotten a new job, if you want to become a content creator. You got to figure out a way. You want to shake up your life, but you're not sure how. First step is your wardrobe, because everything else is already done. You have the degrees, you've had the job, you had this, you've had that. Now it's time for you, and me included, to just let go and start beginning to dress how it is we want to dress, and be okay with it. And if anybody else isn't okay with it, then guess what? That's on them. That's not on you. That is a reflection of how they feel, and not a reflection on how you feel in the life that you lead every day. Now, let's talk about the one thing that probably scares us the most when we're starting to do this. And those are the hit or misses. Most times when we have hit or misses, we stop because we think that we failed, but we really haven't tried. Think of these as fun experiments where you get to see what works and what doesn't work. You get to see how you feel, what your mood is in it. And if it doesn't work, you know not to buy it anymore. You know to find something else that will actually reflect who you are right now. And I really hate the who you are right now, but we're going to use a different word. We're going to say as you're evolving in your style. So as your style is evolving, it's okay. That is a good thing because that means you're not going to be stuck in one place forever. When we're doing this, you have to be open and you have to be brave to experiment and have hit or misses with your style because that will lead you and that will guide you to what it actually and truly is. And you're building your style that is for you. I want us to always remember this. When playing it safe, when it comes to your style, you're working in the confines of somebody's rules and not your own style rules. And if you want to be and build your own style rules, you're going to have to go through the rough patches. You're going to have to go through the hard times. You're going to have to go through the experiments to actually figure it out. Now, for some, it might be faster than others, but that's also okay. But just know that you will get there in your own time. And always remember with this, I like to think of it as this way if you really don't think about it any other way. Think about it as when we were kids and you used to dress up in your mom's clothes, your aunt's clothes, your grandmother's clothes, and you used to have a good time with it and you didn't have a care in the world. That is also the part of just letting go. You got to let go of what it is that you're used to and go out and find what it is that you actually want that will bring you joy and that it is very intentional about how you show up for yourself. So if you've made it this far of the video and you're thinking to yourself, you know what, Tiff, I think I am ready to reinvent, rediscover, or discover my personal style, well, I invite you to click the link in the description of this video where you can join my monthly newsletter, The Signature Edit. In this newsletter, I walk us through, give you a little inspiration or a little guidance along the way as you are going through and discovering your personal style. You also get to get a little bit behind the scenes and a way to get to know me a little better. I talk about what I'm reading right now, my favorite fragrances, movies, and anything else and in between. And even giving you a front row seat to what it's going to look like is I am building my very own personal style. Because guess what? Like you, I am 51 years old. I am in a place to where I am rebuilding my life a little bit, not a full blown up life revamp, but definitely shaking it up a little bit when it comes to my personal style because I've always wanted to learn and know and wear my personal style and be comfortable with it. So with all that, be sure to click the link in the description of this video and get my monthly newsletter so we can all do this together. Now, before we go, I want to leave you with this thing. When you're building your signature style, that is your foundation. Now, there are different levels to the foundation, but your signature style is going to be your foundation for everything. Because once you're done building your personal style, you will then add in your signature style. And that is the expression portion of your style to where it will literally bring everything that you've created and built together. So remember this one thing as you're doing this. Personal style is personal to you. It is personal to me. We should not all be out here looking like an aesthetic or looking very cookie cutter because that is something that we have been taught throughout the years. And I think it is time, and it would be nice for a change to see us come out of that being safe and really dressing the way that we see ourselves and be brave enough to trust ourselves one more time to build a style that is your own.